In the heart of Ionia, hidden between mountains and mist, stood an ancient order, the Kinkou. Their purpose, to maintain the delicate balance between the spirit world and the material one. Among their students was a boy named ZED, ambitious, disciplined, and determined to surpass everyone, even his master. ZED and Shen, his master's son, were like brothers in arms, training side by side, but their paths were destined to diverge. Where Shen sought harmony and balance, ZED craved power, a hunger that would soon define him. He felt an undeniable rivalry, a need to prove himself superior, a desire that burned brighter than any temple flame. Then, the war came. When Noxus invaded Ionia, ZED witnessed horrors the sheltered temple could not prepare him for. He saw his people slaughtered, their lands burned to ash. The Kinkou, bound by their ancient oaths, still preached restraint. A patience ZED saw as weakness, his heart filled with a cold rage. He yearned for the strength to destroy his enemies, to protect his home, at any cost. This desperation drove him to the temple's darkest secret. That's when ZED found it, a forbidden box, sealed deep within the temple's foundations. Inside lay the ancient and terrifying shadow technique. He hesitated for only a moment. Driven by his fury and a desperate hope for salvation, ZED opened the box. Instantly the shadows consumed him. They were a living force, whispering promises of unimaginable power, of the strength he craved, and of the vengeance he so deeply desired. He emerged from that darkness a changed man, faster, deadlier, a living weapon. The shadows became his allies, his armor, his very essence. But this newfound power came with a terrible price. With every enemy he struck down, with every victory won through the shadows, he felt a piece of himself slip away. To save Ionia, he had sacrificed his soul to the dark. When his master Kusho discovered what he had done and forbade the use of shadow magic, ZED saw it as the ultimate betrayal. He believed the Kinkou were weak, their philosophies outdated and blind to the world's unrelenting cruelty. He would not stand by. He renounced his old life and formed his own order. The Order of Shadow, a brotherhood sworn to fight Ionia's enemies without mercy, without restraint. He returned to the temple not as a student, but as a conqueror, leading his masked warriors through its gates. There, under the cold moonlight, he faced his master and his brother, Shen. In the tragic confrontation that followed, ZED struck down the man who had raised him. It was not a victory, it was a tragedy. The student who sought only to protect Ionia had become its most feared killer. Now ZED leads the Order of Shadow. To the world, he is not a simple monster, but a man who believes the old ways have failed. That true balance can only be achieved by cutting away the weakness that threatens it. To some, he is a murderer, a pariah who betrayed everything he once stood for. To others, a savior, the only one with the conviction to do what is necessary. But to himself, he is simply a consequence, a tool forged by war and purpose. ZED walks the razor's edge between light and darkness, a man forever cursed by the power he wields, and eternally defined by the purpose he serves. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the lore of Runeterra, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more stories from the world of League of Legends. See you next time.